Once upon a time there was a beautiful, enchanted forest filled with tall trees, colorful flowers, and magical creatures. Squirrels, rabbits, and deer played and nibbled on nuts and grass. Birds sang cheerful songs from the treetops. Sunbeams danced between the branches and leaves, filling the forest with a warm glow. In the very heart of the forest stood the oldest, tallest tree of all, the Great Willow. With its curved trunk and long, drooping branches, it provided a shady home and shelter for many forest creatures. One day, the peaceful forest creatures detected a disturbance. They ceased their playing and foraging. Their ears perked up. A distant rumbling could be heard, and the ground began to vibrate ever so slightly. The animals were frightened. What could be making such loud, scary noises? Just then, a thunderous crack split the air. A huge metal claw burst through the trees, sending splinters of wood flying. A gigantic bulldozer crashed into the forest, its giant treads flattening everything in its path. The alarmed animals ran for their lives. More machines followed behind the bulldozer, tearing down trees and bushes. "They're destroying our home," the forest creatures cried. But what could they do? They were small and the machines were enormous. The animals helplessly watched their beautiful home being ravaged. Even the Great Willow, with its wide trunk, could not withstand the bulldozers. Timber. The mighty tree came crashing down. Just when it seemed that all hope was lost, a magical sight appeared in the sky. A rainbow streaked overhead and a majestic unicorn descended into the ruined forest. Her pearly white coat and rainbow mane shone brightly. She had a golden horn upon her forehead. With determination in her violet eyes, the unicorn strode towards the bulldozers. She reared up on her hind legs and thrust her horn forward. A beam of light burst forth, covering one of the machines. Instantly, it sputtered to a stop and the engine died. The construction workers operating the bulldozers panicked. What was happening? How could this unicorn stop such a large vehicle? The mystical creature was unaffected by their confusion. She galloped to the next machine and disabled it with another flash from her mighty horn. One by one, she made every bulldozer and truck break down. The workers had no choice but to give up their destruction and drive their machines away. The forest creatures cheered. The unicorn had saved their home. With a whinny of triumph, she then focused her power on the fallen Great Willow. Her horn shone brightly and enveloped the tree. Magically, the Great Willow began to lift off the ground. Its splintered trunk mended itself as it rose higher and higher. Within moments, the tree was fully restored and standing tall once more. The animals gazed in wonder at the revived Great Willow. From that day forward, the forest remained an enchanted place of peace and beauty. The animals played freely again without fear. The unicorn stayed on as guardian and protector. Her magic and courage would keep the forest safe. And so the tale ends happily for the forest and its creatures, all thanks to a very special unicorn.